Hey buddy, let me ask you a question. If you were standing in the middle of an Ice Age snowstorm, face to face with a giant mammoth, and you had no guns, no arrows, not even metal tools, what would you do? Would you try to run, or would you somehow dare to hunt it? Tens of thousands of years ago, our ancestors didn't have the luxury of choice. They didn't have rifles, they didn't have steel, they didn't even have proper houses. And yet, they managed to bring down these towering beasts. So how did they do it? That's exactly the story we're going to explore today. The earliest mammoth hunters didn't rely on weapons. Their greatest weapons were teamwork and intelligence. Instead of trying to kill mammoths directly, tribes learned to use nature itself as their ally. They drove mammoths toward the edges of cliffs to make them fall. They lured them into swamps where the giants would get stuck. Or they dug massive pits in the frozen earth, trapping the animals inside. These strategies were among the most effective ways early humans had, but they demanded patience and careful planning. Hunters would follow herds for days, searching for the right terrain and preparing their traps in advance. Over time, humans didn't just rely on nature anymore. They began to develop their own tools. Sharpened stone spearheads completely changed the game of mammoth hunting. It was no longer about being prey. This was the moment humans became true hunters. With these weapons, hunters could surround the animal and unleash a deadly rain of spears. Archaeologists call one of these groups the Clovis culture. In North America, they brought down massive beasts using their razor-sharp, stone-tipped spears. Mammoth hunting wasn't just about getting food. It meant coming face to face with death. When a mammoth grew angry, it could swing its massive trunk and send hunters flying through the air. With its sharp tusks, it could tear a person apart in a single strike. Or it could simply crush them under its enormous weight. Archaeological evidence shows that some hunters never returned from these hunts, found with broken bones and crushed skulls. And yet tribes never gave up the hunt, even knowing the risks, because sadly they had no other choice if they wanted to survive. When a mammoth finally fell to the ground, it was not just a victory for the hunters, it was a triumph for the entire tribe. The meat was carved up, and every member of the community received their share. Children's faces lit up with joy again, and the smell of roasting meat filled the camp as it cooked over the fire. They danced around the flames, celebrating their survival and their victory. But a mammoth was more than just food. From its hide came clothing and tent coverings. From its bones came tools and shelters. From its sinew came rope and thread for sewing. And from its tusks came ornaments and symbols of status. A single mammoth could sustain an entire tribe, keeping their lives going through the hardest of times. Mammoth hunting was never just about filling stomachs. It was also a ritual that strengthened human bonds and the spirit of the tribe. Among the hunters, stories of past hunts were told, and children were given lessons in bravery to inspire them. At some archaeological sites, ceremonial spaces decorated with mammoth bones have been discovered. This shows that the mammoth was seen not only as prey, but as a sacred being. Mammoth hunts reinforced the power of humans moving as one, proving that through cooperation, they could achieve what once seemed impossible. Today, mammoths are gone, but their story still lives in our memory. A mammoth hunt was never just about gaining meat or fur. It was one of humanity's very first great victories against nature, a desperate fight for survival. Our ancestors didn't have rifles, metals, or modern technology, but in their minds, they carried a power greater than brute strength, the ability to overcome nature through cooperation. Through intelligence and strategy, they prevailed. Mammoth hunting reminds us that humanity survived not just with muscle, but with intelligence and solidarity. And that's it, my friends. In this video, we discovered how our ancestors managed to triumph over these giants. What should the next video be about? Write your ideas in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more.